Why did the speaker just stop for a moment before going on to their next point? Did you notice that too? What's up, Explearners? Today we are talking about the use of pause in public speaking, why we do it and how we do it. I'm going to give you 4 strategies, so you're going to want to stay tuned for this one. In public speaking, we use a variety of techniques to get a point across. The main purpose of giving a talk is to inform the audience of something, is to persuade them, and we want to be able to do that effectively. So how do we communicate effectively? Well, one way is to add pause in our speech. So here are the 4 reasons why, as a speaker, you should use pause. Number 1, emphasis. Right after making a point, when you pause, the audience is paying attention to what you just said because they know that that is something worth paying attention to. And hopefully you've communicated it slowly enough and clearly enough that they got it. If they didn't, then what you do is you make eye contact with the audience. You figure out if there's a disconnect by looking and seeing if there are blank stares in the audience or quizzical looks. And then you can restate that point if it is imperative to your overall message in your talk. When the pause comes after the point, they want the message to click in the audience's mind. And they give them time to ruminate over the point that's just been made. So when the speaker comes to a PCP or a possible completion point, as we say in conversation analysis, then you're probably going to hear a pause after that point. Second reason, it's to say, listen up, audience. If the pause comes before the main point, it's to alert the audience that something important is going to be said in just a few seconds. So make sure you're listening. They're alerting the audience to focus in on that, hone in on that message. We don't want to get lost in the different points that are being made. So sometimes pause can help guide the focus of the audience so that they know what to listen for and what to pay attention to. Now, sometimes the speaker will make it easier on the audience by saying something like, all right, so what's the big idea here? Pause. Now, let me tell you this. Pause. Right? So here we have the audience being guided to listen for a specific something. Now, it doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes the pause will just come in the beginning and then the speaker will dive into something. But at least the pause is a focus shift for the audience and allows them to see that, okay, something important is going to be said here. Number 3. Another great use of pause is to avoid fillers. Fillers in public speaking, like, yeah, so, you know, which are one thing in interpersonal interaction, social interaction, and if you're having a conversation, but another thing entirely when we're giving a speech. Because remember, we don't have a ton of time up there on stage, and we want to be as clear and concise as possible with our message. So if you use pause instead of a filler, you will be able to get your point across better. So that's another reason to use pause in your public speaking. And number 4, the last reason to use pause is to give the audience processing time. If you're just going through every point one after the other without pausing, the audience is going to have little time to actually process the information that you've shared. Maybe it's a statistic that you've shown. Maybe it's a story you've shared. Maybe it's information that you've given. Whatever it is, it's knowledge transfer, and that requires processing time for the audience. Just like you need thinking time, they need processing time. So give them that benefit of allowing the information to sink in, make a mental note of it or an actual physical note if they're taking notes, and allow it to settle. The audience will thank you for it. So as you can see, the pause in public speaking not only benefits you as a speaker, but also the audience. So the audience will thank you for it, and they'll be happy that you were able to walk them through the talk with clarity and precision. Keep in mind that it's not always easy to listen to a talk and soak up all the information right away, right as we hear it. Auditory learners might have an easier time with that because they're prone to learning that way. That's how they learn. But kinesthetic learners, for example, people who learn by doing, might have a harder time with just sitting there and getting information thrown their way, right? So we have to be mindful of that as speakers. So we give them time to process. All right, Explearners, those are my 4 strategies for helping you incorporate pause in your public speaking so that you can become a better communicator. Use this the next time you are in a meeting or you're holding the floor in a conversation or you're up on stage. Practice it to make it your own, and that is how you'll get better. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. It does help me out a lot, and share it with a friend who needs this information. And be sure to subscribe so you can get all the videos about communicating with confidence, authenticity, and poise. I will see you in my next video right here on Explearning. Happy Explearning!